today on the Recipe Rebel, we are making my easy lasagna. It is so flavorful, but we're cutting down on the pots. It's make-aheadable, freezer-friendly, and the whole family loves it. We're gonna start by making our sauce. So to a great big pan, we're gonna add our ground beef. So I have 5 mild Italian sausages here. You can use the spicy ones if you like. I have just pulled the casing off and I'm gonna crumble them up in the pan. Now to our meat, we're gonna add our seasonings. Because we use the Italian sausage, we don't have to add a lot. We're gonna add some garlic, salt, and Italian seasoning. Lastly, for our sauce, we're going to add 1.5 jars of just a jarred pizza or tomato pasta sauce and a little bit of water. So now we're gonna take our sauce off of the heat. We're gonna let it cool down slightly. Because we're adding a ricotta cheese mixture in our lasagna, we don't want our sauce too hot or it'll melt everything. So to a bowl, we're gonna add our ricotta cheese, some frozen spinach that has been thawed and squeezed out, some Parmesan cheese, an egg, a little bit of cream or evaporated milk, and a great big handful of mozza. The rest of our mozzarella cheese we're gonna save for on the top. Now we're going to assemble our lasagna. So I have a nice big 9x13 baking dish here. I'm going to give it a light coating of nonstick spray just in case. It's a little extra insurance that our pieces are gonna come out nice. Now I always start with a thin layer of meat sauce, just so that your noodles don't stick to the bottom. So for this lasagna, we are doing 4 layers with 3 lasagna noodles each. So I have 12 oven-ready lasagna noodles here. This means we don't have to boil them separately and saves a ton of time and one great big pot. I'm gonna start by laying 3 noodles on top of our meat sauce. We are going to top our lasagna noodles with about 1/3 of our ricotta mixture. After we have spread out our ricotta mixture, we're gonna top with meat sauce and then we're back to the beginning. We're gonna repeat 3 times for a nice thick lasagna. On our top layer of lasagna noodles, we're gonna put just the rest of our sauce. I like to keep the ricotta mixture just to the inside layers. I am going to cover this with some greased tin foil and bake it for about half an hour. I like to keep the top layer of cheese off until we pull that foil off, just so none of it gets stuck. So now we're going to put our lasagna back in the oven for 10 or 15 minutes, just until the cheese is melted and it's looking nice and set. So I've just pulled the lasagna out of the oven. The cheese is nice and melted and browned and bubbly, but we're not done yet. It's important to let your lasagna sit for at least 10 minutes so that you can get a nice clean slice. It's hard though.